Hiya, this is the Peerwinkle vlog. We're up to number 6 now already. I am Amarins, or Amy in English, and I have a wee vlog telling you lots of stuff that I'm doing with spinning, knitting, and dyeing at the moment. But before we go to the dyeing bit, I made a promise last week. I had said that I was going to be doing some spinning in a specific technique, and that technique was bouclé. I got that book from the book 80 Spinning Techniques. I have to check that. I'm always a bit dubious about the title of that book. But I basically set myself the challenge of getting a technique um, in the fingers, as we would say, for that particular week. Um, I tried and I tried and I tried real hard, and I've got four fast samples to show you. I'm still not happy with it. So I'll show you, and maybe you have some good tips for me that can help me improve my boucle spinning. Um, the first one that I did ended up looking a bit like this. You can see there's not that much boucle. You see it's white. It's very hard to look to see, but there's not that much boucle thingies in it. It's more of a bit of a yarn that goes like this here. It's a separate strand, and you can see what happened there. So something did happen, but then I looked at it, and then I read the description again, and then I realized that I had done it wrong. So on to number 2. And this is much more knobbly yarn, as you can see, and I thought quite successful, but I wasn't really happy with the way that it did this in places. You can see there's a lot of the leader and the core thread with long bits. So I tried again, and then this time I got this, and again, whatever happened, there's lots of bits where the core and the leader are basically just one continuous thread. Oh, and this one's really like dramatic. And I had realized that I had spun them the wrong way, both of them again. And then my last one, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna follow this absolutely to the T. I actually spun a core, what is it? Leader, binder, a core and a binder in the directions that it gave, and then I got this yarn. That's the top, that's the bottom. So as you can see it does crinkle up an awful lot. So I'm not sure whether I can actually say that I've been successful in spinning. See, it's massively over twisted or under twisted. Whoever can tell me the difference, I have to look that up. Not really happy with it. It's actually green. It looks blue on the screen, but it's green. So I will be continuing with that, and not this week though. But anyway, so I hope that you have been a bit more successful with your bouclés, and I'd love to see them. So send me pictures, links to blogs, any tips you have to help me, please. This week I will be spinning something else, and that refers to the Ex Merino 2. I think I told you about it. I bought it in England, and I got a massive fleece, and last week I was very impressed with some dyeing work that I had seen on a Facebook page of one of my friends, and she had dyed wool with reed tops. Basically the flower of the reed, nice plume. It's sort of purple in color, and I was like, hey, we've got lots of reeds where we live, so I decided to pick some, and eventually got home with a kilo's worth of reed tops. And so boiled them up, and while they were on the boil or simmer, I washed a fleece, and because I didn't wash it before, I didn't weigh it before I washed it. I didn't know exactly how much it was, but I sort of guesstimated it was less than a kilo. So I went on and put it in and dyed it, and this is the result. And And I mean, she had the same problem. It just absolutely does not photograph. See, it just does weird things. It's a lovely apple green color. And so I've got them all carded up once. I will probably do another one or maybe 2 passes on the carding machine. And I weighed them up, and at the moment I've got 782 grams of fleece, which should be plenty for a nice sweater. I had the plan of knitting up that beautiful sweater in yokes with beads in it, and that one requires quite a thin yarn, so I'll be my task this week, or my challenge, is to spin a really fine thread with this yarn. So here's the bell somebody's really trying to get in. Okay, hang on, I'll just open a door and then I'll be right back. The joy of kids. Right, I'm back. Where was I? So basically this week I'll be spinning that up really finely, and well, not this week. I'll be spinning up, I think, about 20 grams and plying them. Gonna do 2 ply, and then knit a swatch, and then see where I get with gauge, and then I can basically check whether I'm on the right track or something needs to be adjusted with regard to the thickness of my yarn. So basically that was it. Otherwise I didn't do any spinning last week. It was horrendously busy again, with an editing project again. It seems like I never learn, but hey. Talking about spinning, I had a few people who really liked the gradient bats that I made last week, and so I wrote them all on a wee piece of paper and put them in a bowl. And so I'm now gonna let you know who won. Oh yeah, look gorgeous. Look at this bowl, isn't it beautiful? It's by Lavondu Ceramics, and we shop in our town gets them. And I also saw that there's one here, same one with like square button, like round but then straight button or straight side. So I have to get that one as well, but I haven't seen that in the store yet. So I'm gonna rummage around and then pull a name out of the hat. And if it's you, contact me. You can select one of the gradient bats that I showed you, or if you prefer to have it in a different color, let me know and I'll make one personal for you. Okay. The winner this week is Dirkje. So this bat will be going all, can you see it? Dirkje. Be going all the way up to Finland. I don't have your address, so send that to me as well, and then all will be well. So congratulations, Dirkje. Last thing in this tea break vlog, I'm just gonna call them tea break vlogs from now on, is my heaven shawl, because even though it's quite challenging with construction wise, it is a lovely knit to do late at night after work. So for me that's between 11 and 12 in the evening, just before I flake and fall asleep on the sofa and haul myself to bed. And I actually got the entire edging knit up last week, which was quite a challenge because it was like 47 points of these points. Basically you can sort of see them here, and edging starts around here. See, there's a line running, and that is basically where you pick up stitches, because at the edge you put an extra yarn over, so you get it's quite well used method of construction for these type of shawls, where you first knit the edging and then you pick up the loops, so that the loops become your first stitch, and it gives a very nice open effect at the bottom around the bottom of your shawl, of the how do you call that? It's like, see, I haven't had enough coffee yet. It's a whatever that lunar, yeah, the crescent, that's what it was, the crescent shape of your shawl. I'm working on the first repeat. The inside of the shawl is actually quite easy to do. It's just a simple lace pattern. It is true lace, so there is yarn overs and knit togethers on both sides, but because it's very repetitive, I think the repeat's only 10 stitches, it's quite easy to do, and I've indicated the center stitch so that I know where on the right side I have to knit 3 together, and on the return it's only just knit center stitch. So this is where decreases are happening, and also there's decreases on the outside in the edging stitches. So it's a bit of a loop there, but as you can see, and then at a certain point there will be so many stitches left, and then I'll have to bind off, but I'm not there yet. So because I think I have to knit this repeat a number of times. So basically my little lamb has been looking after this, and it's barely, so the yarn is getting smaller, but the shawl is getting bigger, so it can still hold it if I push it in. It's nice and full. So, and then the tips in there, and then ta-da, Bob's your uncle. So that's how I do it. I haven't started any new knitting projects, also because I'll be knitting a swatch this week, and I haven't done anything about the TKGA because last week I did some studying for work, and that basically had a bit of preference, priority. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe this week. I think I'm a bit TKGA tired after the holidays. I just can't get myself to get started. So that kick up the backside, please give it to me so I can get started again. Well, that was it for this week. I'm looking behind me. Yeah, there's a carder on the other side of the computer. I'll show you. See where you can see it. There's my carder. So that's where I was slaving away. Whoops, I put it down again. Slaving away yesterday and the day before, carding up, what was it? Yeah, 8 batts, and it's tiring work. It wasn't too bad, and also I think the second pass will be a lot easier because it's already carded, so now it's just fine-tuning and getting the remaining little balls of fluff and debris out, and the yarn, the wool is just so unbelievably soft. I sent a sample to Betty, and she agreed with me that it's strong, very soft. So I think I'll be very happy spinning this up. Not quite singing and spinning, but yeah, who knows? Maybe I will. So I hope to see you again next time, and then I'll hopefully have a sample to show you of that lovely green yarn. And we'll see how far I get with my heaven, and maybe you never know, I've got another spinning project on the go, because I always get distracted a bit, so who knows. See you next time. Bye.